I don't know why this isn't playing.
I want to tell you my secret now. I see dead people.
Welcome to Blondes and Booze. You are about to embark on a journey, one that often leads to more questions than answers. But fear not, your host, Krista, Aaron, and Brandy have the experience, the perseverance, and yes, even the gifts to pull back the veil and allow us to glimpse the other side. They will share not only their experiences, but will introduce you to world-renowned researchers and experiencers to help you find answers in the murky waters of what we call the paranormal. Their bonds with each other reach far beyond friendship, resulting in a pull no punches approach to the many subjects they explore. Their goal? To open eyes, hearts, and even minds to what lies on the other side, and the answers residing there.
Hey,
Hi,
everybody.
everybody.
Welcome to Blondes and Booze. We appreciate everybody tuning in. Sorry about the little mishap in the opening. I don't know why it wasn't playing.
It's
It's
that
the story of
day.
our
It is
life, isn't
that
it,
day.
Brandy? It's
It,
totally the
it, it
story of our
is that
life.
day.
Yeah. Yeah, because you had a heck of a time logging in tonight. Because usually,
Yeah,
Brandy, we sit
I
back and
kept
we chat
trying and
here
trying.
about 7:30, and it took her almost till what, 5 till?
Yeah,
1?
yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. That's
It
crazy.
has
But
just been one of the, it just seems like every time the night before I'm trying to go somewhere because I'm going to hang out with my bestie tomorrow. We're going to go hang out in the woods. Me and my bestie.
yep.
So, um, so everything that could go wrong is going wrong. I don't know about anybody else, but anytime I've got something important to do.
Yeah. I know. I get it. I'm totally with you. I want to remind everybody on Monday nights to tune in to Texas Front Porch with Tex and Brandy over here. Tuesday nights is Van Buren Variety at 7 p.m. This is all Central Standard Time. Beyond BMR is at 8 p.m. Wednesday nights is Siru Papers at 8 p.m. And then Jason McLean Questions Everything at 9. Thursday nights you have, Thursday afternoons you have Brunch with Bigfoot Michigan Rob at noon. And then you have us on Thursday evenings, the show. And Friday nights you have us plus the woo. So anyway, we appreciate everybody tuning in to us. And let's just get right into it. I'm pretty excited to have this guest. He's made some pretty good films, and I asked him to come to talk about. I want to hear about his experiences and his Bigfoot stuff. So I'm just not going to waste any time, and I'm going to bring him right up. Hi, Jason.
Hello, hello. How are you?
We're
Hi,
good.
Jason.
We appreciate
Good, good.
We're definitely glad you're here.
Oh, I'm glad to be here too.
Yeah, we appreciate you doing this for us.
It's finally nice to meet you.
Yeah, absolutely. We've chatted a little bit, so I know you guys started in taking pictures of just animals in general, correct?
Yes, I
Okay,
did that. Well, I still do it, but I've been doing it for about 30 years.
gotcha.
Just
So,
traveling all over the world, just meeting people with amazing animals, pets,
mhm,
the people that have these animals, they're quite interesting and they have their own stories about their animals, and it's
sure.
something really cool to hear.
Yeah, yeah. I've seen somewhere like you were taking pictures of alligators and tigers and all kinds of cool stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I do a lot of not just dogs and cats, but people that have the most exotic animals like tigers and
Yeah.
wolves, monkeys,
Wow.
gerbils. God, love those things.
So how do you find these people? Do you just put out there, hey, looking for somebody with a kangaroo? Or
Well, a long time ago, I got lucky and I was hired by a guy who had me take photos of his exotic animal, and he is the the guy who everyone looks up to. So I did such a good job, and he asked me not to tell people about the exotic animal that I had taken. He didn't want me to put location
sure.
because a lot of people wanted to either steal his animals, but I got his trust. So what was happening was he was talking to other people all over the world and throughout North America, and from there people just kind of trusted me, and they
Cool.
know that if they can have me come and take photos of their animals, and if they ask me not to, you know, post it or not to, give location, then, I won't do it.
Sure. That's awesome. So tell me, what is the coolest animal you have taken pictures of?
I have to say, there's a lady in Saskatchewan. She has 6 or 7 wolves,
Oh wow. Yeah.
and she has a giant white wolf.
Wow.
And that was, to me, that was pretty exciting to be
Yeah.
able to. And I have to let you know, if I'm going to take photos or if I'm going to do a short documentary on your animal, there can't be any cages. I have to be able to hug the animal, so to speak.
Right. Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it was an experience to be surrounded by all these wolves.
Yeah.
I even climbed down into a wolf den,
Oh wow.
and it dropped down about 25 feet, and then it opened up into a big den, and then there was little tiny other holes that you could
Yeah.
slide down even further. I think I must have went down in total 45 feet.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was pretty cool.
Yeah. I gotta say, wolf is my favorite wild animal.
Yeah.
They're majestic.
Well, you would have just been in heaven for sure.
Yeah. Oh, most definitely. So then tell me what made you go south per se, come to the dark side and start, looking searching for Bigfoot.
Well, so I've always been fascinated with paranormal and monsters and cryptids and all that really cool stuff. I'm kind of a skeptic when it
Hmm.
comes to it, but I still love a good mystery
Sure.
and I love a good adventure. So back when we got locked down because of a certain, you know, uh,
Right.
we I was driving myself nuts because I couldn't take photos or of animals. I was getting bored, so I thought, well, I live in Vancouver, British Columbia, and I'm only about 45 minutes away
Hmm.
from the biggest Bigfoot hotspot in the world.
Right.
And so I decided I was just going to look into it. And so I talked to a few eyewitnesses that led me to another eyewitness that led me deep into the forests of British Columbia.
Hmm.
And I found a lake. And in this lake, I found hundreds of these giant footprints that walked across it.
Hmm.
And when
I
I
seen that
droned it.
on one of your
Yes.
documentaries. I saw that.
And I droned it and I showed it to the First Nations people. And they said I found the migration path of Sasquatch.
Wow.
And I did some more studying and I took a helicopter deep into the forest, got dropped in for a couple days, couple nights. And yeah, the things I saw were crazy. I saw
Wow.
trees upside down. They picked up, ripped out of the ground, moved like a few feet, and then just ran back into the ground. I
Yeah.
found deer that were ripped apart and hanging from trees.
Wow.
I found another footprint. Yeah, it's just crazy the stuff that's happened
Yeah.
throughout the 5 years I've been researching.
Yeah. So when you first started this, you said you're a skeptic. Did you have any, visual encounters, or did you have any anything that's kind of leading you to believe like, okay, maybe there is something really here.
So when I was in Michigan, I was with a Bigfoot research team out there. They flew me in,
Mm-hmm.
and they had me join them, and I filmed one of my documentaries, part 1 and part 2, which is basically 3 and 4.
Mm-hmm.
And I was with another researcher, and we're walking through the forest, and we went one way, and I was so fascinated about seeing all the broken, twisted branches that were broken and twisted. And Robert Kreider, he was teaching me about, his theory was that these creatures break the branches
Yeah.
as they move through the forest. They just grab something and twist. So I was filming all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Must have been 20 of them along we hiked probably about a mile in, maybe a mile and a half in. And we were going to pick up a recorder. And we found an area where all these trees they weren't broken. They weren't pushed over broken. They were pushed over and leaning straight across the trail. And there must have been about 20 of them. And they were thick. They were pretty thick, and it went right across the trail. It was as if something had pushed them over and was trying to stop us from crossing. And we had to crawl underneath them and go.
Oh, wow.
So we went all the way. We picked up the recorder, and as we were walking back, we heard a loud crack behind us. So we jumped and we turned around, and the researcher I was with grabbed his gun for a second because, it could have been a cougar or a bear, because we could see wolf and cougar tracks all over the place. So we're looking into the darkness, and probably about 150 feet, we could see eye shine looking at us.
Mm-hmm.
And it came out, and as my light hit it, it blinked, or it shut its eyes. And my heart's racing and I'm freaking out. If anyone tells you that, when things happen in the forest, they don't get scared, they're
Mm-hmm.
lying, because
Yeah.
it's quite terrifying out there at
Yeah.
night. So we're
Yeah.
looking at this eye shine, and it closed its eyes. And then it must have took a few steps back, because it seemed to be just out of range of the infrared, because it opened its eyes again, but really slowly.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't as bright. Then all of a sudden there was a smaller one that came out from the side, and when my light hit it closed its eyes. Now, I'm not saying it was a Bigfoot because we couldn't see the body, but we were watching it, and it was watching us. Both of them were watching us for at least 10 minutes.
How
And
high
we're
up?
watching
How high up off the ground was the eye shine?
It's funny when people say that to me, because I really wanted to run up there and just measure it with my measuring
Yeah.
tape, but I didn't have one with me.
Right.
It's hard when someone asks me that, because it's so far away. It was definitely 6 feet off the ground for sure. That's for sure.
Wow.
The
Wow.
shorter one was a little bit lower.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, the eye, it closed its eyes and then walked off, because we walked. Oh, let me go back a second.
Sure.
When we were walking back after picking up the recorder, there was a couple tree breaks that were in the middle of the trail hanging.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't there when we passed it the first time, because I walked up to it and I saw it, and I'm like, huh, I'm looking at it, it's hanging.
Right.
And I'm looking at it going, huh, I don't remember this being here. And it was still wet. And
Wow.
that's when we heard the crack behind us.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when we turned around.
Wow.
So now the two eyes have moved off, and we walked, we gun ho right up to where they were, and you have to understand where we were standing 150 feet we it was all forest around us. When we got to the spot, there was an opening in the trees where you could just walk right through.
Yeah.
So then we could hear cracking in the forest. So as we were walking back, we looked at the the crack again, like the tree breaks again. And what I didn't see on film, it wasn't until I got home and 2 months later when I was looking through the footage that there was eye shine watching us right behind me. Like I'm talking 5 feet behind me in the bushes above my head. So what
Wow.
I did was we were looking one direction and I pretended to take a step forward
Mm-hmm.
and I did this a bit. It's kind of like a dance move where I took a step and I just turned really fast. And I had the video camera facing me because I was talking on film,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because I'm trying to make a film and a documentary, and I had just finished filming in one direction for 10 minutes. So I had turned it on me and I was talking. When I turned, this dark shape threw itself to the ground and
Mm-hmm.
did it looked like a giant spider as it crawled across the trail and
Wow.
into the other side. And then I think there was a second one that was standing there and it took a step back into the
Wow.
forest. But I was so focused on this dark shape. And the one thing I remember is seeing the eyes
Mm-hmm.
looking at me the entire time as it went across the trail. And the eyes didn't bounce. It
Wow.
was like it was on a gimbal or it was like on a slider. The eyes were smooth, stared
Yeah.
at me the whole time. Had nightmares. Every time I closed my eyes, I would just see the two eyes looking at me. And I went into the forest. Now I'm baffled, right? Because I couldn't see if it was a Bigfoot. For one thing, I had my camera facing me, and the light of the camera had kind of blinded me a bit, so I couldn't see too much different. Couldn't see too much of the whatever this was. I'm trying to look at it, thinking, is it a cougar, a wolf? But my experience with them is when they run from you, they don't look at you. They turn their head and they book it.
Sure. Did
All
you
I can
notice
say is it looked like
any like blinking or anything like that in the eye shine?
well, when it went across the trail, I didn't blink,
Mm-hmm.
and then it went up into. But then I freaked out. I almost fell on my back, and the other researcher was looking the other direction. And so when I freaked out, he turned around, and I explained to him what I saw. So while I was talking to him, I walked. We walked to the area, which was only about 30 feet from me. We walked, and what I didn't see on camera, like I said, 3 months later, 2 months later, when I was looking through the footage,
Yeah.
I see the eye shine right over our shoulder, right in the forest, and I caught all that
Right.
on film.
Wow. That's
So I'm
impressive.
not saying it was a Bigfoot because I didn't see
Yeah.
too much of it being a Bigfoot. It
Mhm.
definitely blows my mind.
Yeah. Absolutely. Do you okay, so next question. What do you feel about like I feel like that they're super intelligent, you know? So do you feel like it was staying out of your view that it knew not to go any closer? You know what I mean? Because to me, like I
Yeah,
hear people talk about, if there's cameras and stuff, like they know they're not going to
yeah.
come and show themselves. Do you feel like, did you get that kind of sense or anything?
So for the 4 or 5 years that I've been researching and all the expeditions I've been on, what I'm going to tell you right now, this is my firsthand experience. And I haven't really said this to anyone yet. Like I haven't told people, but when you have the camera facing you, this is my theory. When you have the camera facing you and you have it on infrared, for some reason, these creatures, you almost trick them because you Okay, so if you think of cougars will attack you from behind. Very
Right.
seldom will a cougar attack you from the front.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of there's quite a few animals that will come at you from behind
Right.
because they don't want to be injured. So, like a Sasquatch, I believe that when the back of your head is facing them, they think that you're not seeing them. So
Mm-hmm.
they will actually stick their head out or their eye out to look at you. And I have caught so many eye shine. I just got back from Ohio to
Mm-hmm.
research the grassman, and I caught quite a bit of eye shine that was behind my head, and I'm looking away. At one point, I shined my camera to talk to the audience, saying, "Look how freaky it is here." And I shine, and right before I shine the camera, the light, I see an eye behind me, like an eye shine. Then I
Wow.
shine the camera on it. I, I swear the thing must have ducked right when the light was just panning over to it. And, maybe I thought, okay, maybe it was a squirrel, or
Mm-hmm.
maybe it was a star in the sky. But the next, about 1 minute later, when I'm walking, I see the eye shine, and now it's closer to the ground. And you
Yeah.
only see it for a second. So
Wow.
I'm saying that if you have a camera that has night vision, it's okay to put the camera facing you, because these creatures think that you're looking away from them. They don't realize that the camera is still pointing in their direction. And also the infrared light is covered by your body.
Mm-hmm.
So they won't see that. And you can trick them.
Wow. Wow. That's interesting.
I
What?
wouldn't
Yeah.
have thought of that.
What's that, Brandy?
I said I wouldn't have thought of that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely interesting. I've heard other people ask other people with shows, that actually are out in the field investigating, about putting a camera on their backs, when they're walking and, you know,
Yeah. And I thought about that too. But a lot of times it's GoPros,
hmm
right?
right.
So they don't have an infrared camera. And I think these creatures, they can see the infrared light. Like I think they can, because there's been times where I've shone the video camera, and as the video camera comes over, it ducks behind a tree.
Yeah. Yeah. Makes sense. Yeah. Gary
So
Spike says put a camera on the back of your head as you walk. It's a good idea.
have you seen um Searching for Sasquatch 6?
No, I haven't seen the sixth one.
So it's I came walking around some bushes, and I'd walked away from everyone.
Yeah.
And as I walked around these bushes, there, 25 feet in front of me, were these two eyes looking at me, over 6 feet tall, which, you know, like I said, I still don't have a measuring tape, so I can't tell. And I'm only 5'6", so I know. By the time I had my video camera on me, and so I pushed record, and by the time I had that delay, it had dropped to the ground, but I caught it looking at me, and it was doing this kind of
hmm
what do you almost a very primate monkey like,
Yeah.
where it was just bouncing back and forth in the forest looking at me. And I have that all on 4K video, which
Wow.
was and 20 feet away, and it was really freaky. I don't know why. I don't know how I didn't poop my pants, because I was like freaking out because I'm 25 feet away from this. I'm probably 20 feet from
Yeah.
this thing, and in the video you can almost see a bit of the shape of the head.
Wow.
And there was a lot of stuff. There was a lot of eye shine. I was with like 5 other people, and we're all running through the forest, and I caught something big crashing through the forest and caught that on film. Yeah, number 6 is pretty exciting, actually.
Where can we find number six at? Because I've watched yours on I seen you had some on. There's a Bigfoot TV, and you're on there, and then I
Yeah,
watched
so
it
if
on
you go
YouTube.
to Tubi TV,
Tubi. Okay.
Tubi, you
Oh,
go to Tubi,
Tubi.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah,
Tubi.
go to TubiTV.com,
Uh huh.
and in the search bar, just put Jason Kenzie,
Yeah.
into the search bar, and they will all pop up, all of them,
Okay.
all the documentaries.
Okay. Yeah, because I've watched most of them, but I haven't seen the sixth one yet.
Yeah, there's 6. There's 7 will be launched very soon. It's coming. It should be there by the end of next month.
Hmm.
And then I'm working on the Ohio Grassman.
Yeah. Okay. So I know you said that
See,
you
I'm not familiar. I'm not familiar with the grass man. What can you tell me about the grass man, because I haven't heard very much about it.
Okay, so it's basically a cryptid of a man that looks like grass. No, just kidding, just kidding. Sorry. It sounds good. It sounds good. Um, well, allegedly, it's supposed to be bigger than a Sasquatch. It's supposed to be 900 pounds. It's supposed to be, 9 feet tall, and it's supposed to be a little bit more aggressive,
okay.
and it has big feet. So I don't know why people don't say it's not Bigfoot, but it's a creature. So the very first time it was seen in tall grass, and that's where it got its name, the Grassman.
Okay.
What You know what? It is a damn good thing that it wasn't seen in corn, because I'm like, hey guys, I'm going to hunt for the corn man. Yeah,
Right.
I had some butter and a microwave. I'm
Right.
good.
There you go. Just like, I mean, it makes like Florida has the skunk apes, Missouri, we're in Missouri and we have Momo, so
Momo. My
yeah.
God, you know what? I swear to God, if I ever go hunting, like if I ever go searching for Momo, I just know that if I come across that guy, that monster is going to pick me up and say, "Why the hell are you calling me Momo?" Okay, that is not a very attractive name.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And I really don't know how it got its name. I have no idea.
I'm actually going to be flying out to the Florida Everglades to go searching for the skunk ape.
Cool. Very cool.
Right? So that's going to be interesting. My luck, I'll be eaten by an alligator. Well,
Oh no.
that would be
Well,
my luck, right?
well, let us know if you ever come to Missouri and go search for Momo.
Yeah, that would be great. I would love to do a documentary on Momo.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be awesome. So tell me your feelings on, I have talked to a lot of credible people and they talk about the infrared or the what is it, Brandy? What's the word I'm looking for? My mind went blank.
Night vision or
Like no, it's
uh,
where like people
The
get
flare?
zapped and things like that. What
infrasound.
infrasound, that's it. That's
Infrasound, yes.
yeah, what do you believe about that? Because I've talked to some really credible people, and I 110% believe their stories and what happened, to them. I mean, and they, they get sick afterwards, and things like that. And today I did a show with Bigfoot Michigan Rob and co-hosted with him, and we had Barton Nunnally on today, and Barton believes that it's um, oh my God, my mind went blank again. I'm showing my age, but radiation. So
Well,
what do
well,
you feel about all of that?
so what they're saying that maybe these creatures are radioactive?
Like they can emit yeah, like when people, because they'll have an encounter and then they're feeling sick or something like that. It
So
affects people that
I
way.
do I do believe in infrasound because there are animals that do infrasound, right? There's whales, there's lions, there's so many different animals that do infrasound, and some of them. And
Correct.
so the reason why lions and tigers will roar right before they attack you, because the frequency will literally freeze you in your tracks
Uh-huh.
and will paralyze you for a mere second, just enough so the animal can either get away or eat you. Really,
Yeah.
when I was in Texas and we were in an area, there was a huge growl, like a roar, and the roar was so loud, and you could just vibrate your body, and you could feel it.
Wow.
So the Texas Screams, have you seen that one?
Yes.
Yeah. So the experience,
Yeah.
the screams and the howls, and
Hmm.
it's all around us. It's crazy. And the thing that was in the forest that stood up.
Yeah.
That was a crazy adventure, and I loved it.
Yeah. Out
You
of
know,
all the places that you've went to, I've heard you say now Texas, Ohio, British Columbia. Where was the best place that you actually had the most encounters that you feel?
well, I have to say Texas, along the Louisiana River.
Hmm.
That was probably the one that was really, yeah, it was pretty epic. Like I never experienced so many howls and screams all
Yeah.
around us.
Wow. Do you believe that they were Bigfoot, or do you believe like what are let me ask you, what are your feelings on like Dogman and things like that? Could it have been something along that lines?
It's a possibility. The good thing about Texas and these screams is there were coyotes that were
Mm.
howling at the
Yeah.
same time. And so I loved it because you could tell the difference between the coyotes howling and then
Yeah.
these creatures that were howling.
Gotcha.
You could totally hear the difference. And when you saw the documentary, I
Hmm.
put the coyote sounds right next to the because they were howling at the same time. But
Right.
the roar sounds very. It was just the way it just went, "Arr!" Like
Yeah.
just yeah. It was, and it was loud too.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, I could see that. What are your thoughts on like mind speaking and things like that? Because once again, I've talked to people who, very credible people that say they
So a
mind speak
second,
these.
I'm talking to one right now. Okay, uh huh. Making me some popcorn with the Ohio corn man. You know what? The thing about mind speaking is it hasn't happened to me
Hmm.
yet. So it'll be interesting if that day comes
Hmm.
that one can speak to me. I mean, who knows? Because we don't know very much about these creatures.
Right.
So I can't say it's not real. I
Hmm.
can't say
Right.
that people that get minds that have these creatures mind speak with them
Yeah.
isn't real. And but I can't say that it's not real. I
Right.
can't, it just, who knows? I want it to be real. I want it to be real so bad.
Hmm.
The thing that one of the big things about searching for these creatures, any creature, doesn't matter if it's Bigfoot or Dogman or any cryptid, is
Yeah.
the fact that when you get out there in the darkness, when you get scared and your imagination is really hype that it almost like you want every crack and every noise that you hear, you want it to be a Bigfoot. So you're going to see Bigfoot. So it's a hard thing to try and not let that happen to you,
Hmm.
right? But it happens to all of us. It happened to me. I mean, you hear a crack in the forest. A chipmunk can sound like an elephant running through the forest when you're, scared.
Yeah. So our history, Brandy and myself, we started out like with paranormal and ghost, and we always go in with a reasonable explanation. And if we can't find one, then we're like, okay, so it's on possibly on the paranormal side. You might have a problem here, and honestly, I feel like I personally have not seen a Bigfoot. I did have an encounter, which a lot of our viewers know about that, but I didn't actually see it, and it was just that overwhelming feeling, and but I didn't know what it was at the time. But I feel like whenever I go to a place and say if I am going looking for Bigfoot or whatever, I feel like I'm going in looking for a reasonable explanation, not just a squirrel or something like that.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
And then as far as mind speaking, like I said, I've talked to some really credible people who have mind speaked with these creatures, and Bettina Moss is one. She had an encounter with the dog man, and when she seen it, she said it said, "Oh, it's just you," like it wasn't bothered by her, and I really believe that she had that encounter,
So was the dog man standing in front of her
Yes,
when
it,
he
it
said
was.
it?
Yes, yeah, and she was in her car. She pulled up to her parents' house, and she was in her car, and saw it. So, she feels like that it said, "Oh, it's just you." Like it had knew who she was.
Yeah,
So, I don't know. I think the mind speaking thing that does intrigue me.
yeah, yeah. It intrigues me. I love hearing the stories from all these eyewitnesses.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
fascinating,
right.
and some of the stuff that I've seen and heard uh, going into the forest.
Yeah.
I mean, I live in an area where the trees are, some of them are 5 feet in diameter.
Hmm.
And these creatures can easily hide behind these trees.
Yeah. Yeah. And see, I've also talked to people where they believe that these creatures are interdimensional, and you know what? And some of they just disappear. Like
Hmm.
you'll have them and then they're just gone, or footprints. You have it in the snow and then they're just gone. So
Yeah.
where do these creatures go? Which
Like
leads
I
to
said,
maybe they are interdimensional.
it's like who knows what, about these creatures until we can literally study one. Like,
Yeah,
I'm not even talking about a dead one. I'm talking about even if it's a living one, to be able to study them. Right
yeah,
now, everything that anyone says is basically we're guessing, really,
yeah. No,
about
that's true.
about the whole thing. I mean, I love it when people say they're experts. I'm like, okay, well, then you're an expert. I'm an expert because we're an expert on something that we don't 100% know very much about.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
That's true. That's true. Like I said, I've never went looking for Bigfoot or anything like that. But it's on my bucket list for sure.
so I
Something.
am right as we speak. I'm producing a paranormal documentary, my first one.
Okay.
So that's very interesting, and I'm a bit of a skeptic when it comes to that too. But I'm teaming up with a, a, a paranormal group, and they're going to take me out into some haunted indoor locations.
Oh, wow. So
And
what kind of places are you going to? Can you
so
tell
we're
us?
going to a hotel out here,
Okay.
and we're going to a mansion where it's supposed to be very haunted. I've already interviewed about 6 or 7 um, eyewitnesses who've had paranormal encounters.
Okay.
So that was exciting. And
Yeah.
now I'm going to film the adventure bit.
Wow.
And it's going to be different than Bigfoot because it's going to be indoor.
Hmm.
I'm not going to do an outdoor, and I'm very excited to be able to share this with everyone. It's my
Yeah.
first time doing a paranormal with ghosts
Yeah.
and things that go bump in the night.
What are you?
In one part, I'm going to go down to the cellar by myself
Hmm.
for like 15, 20 minutes. We'll see how that does, right? I
Hmm.
have to bring an extra pair of underwear with me because it could be kind of freaky down there.
Yeah. Well, so I've been doing paranormal for a many years, and I've been to a lot of haunted locations, and a lot of the night is sitting there in the dark and nothing happening.
Yeah, I hope that doesn't happen. I want this documentary to be, kind of exciting. You
Yeah,
know, of course, I'm not going to make it exciting. I'm hoping things happen, but
yeah,
like you said, there's no promise.
right. The paranormal is very unpredictable. One night it's happening and going crazy, and the next night, there's barely anything happening, and you know, we've
Yeah,
experienced that a lot, huh, Brandy?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sorry. I'm trying to hold my signal as long as I can.
Yeah,
I'm having a terrible time. It's super windy out here.
Can you
in the middle of nowhere.
everything? Could you hear everything we were talking about?
Some of it, I was really trying to pay attention, and it kept cutting out. So I turned my camera off, hoping that it would help, but it's not.
Well,
Yeah.
it seems like you're doing pretty good now. If
Yeah.
you like, I could help you out by just going. So anyway, no, okay, good. Yeah, that's fine.
Geez, that sounded like earlier.
Right. So back on the ghost thing, have you had any encounters yourself, with the paranormal?
So being a photojournalist, I've been hired by quite a few interesting people who have had me do some interesting documentaries for them, or just to come out and film. And I remember 10 years ago, maybe 15 years ago, I went out with a paranormal group, and they just had me film.
Mm-hmm.
But I did have on the recorder, I asked a question, and it told me to fuck off.
Yeah.
Yeah, like clear as day. And I'm like, but I have learned there's the number one rule when you're ghost hunting. Do you know what that is?
What's up?
You don't whisper.
That's true. Yep. We always tell our attendees that.
Yeah, don't whisper. When you're doing,
that is so true.
when you're
That
filming,
is so true.
when you're
Just
doing
talk in a normal
EVPs,
voice.
yeah,
Yep.
normal voice. And if anyone coughs or even does a whisper, you have to say it out loud.
Yeah.
That was blah, blah, blah.
Same thing.
Coughing.
Also, another thing about ghost hunting when you're running EVPs, if your stomach growls, you need to say it because it come off sounding like a demon or something,
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
growl or yeah.
Yes, especially depending on what you ate.
Yeah. No Mexican before ghost hunting.
No Mexican.
Yeah, exactly.
No
Mexican, no Chinese.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's funny. So you haven't had. So have you guys gone out into the field searching for Bigfoot?
No, but it is on our bucket list for this year.
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
Well, that would be fun. I wish I could be there just to film the adventure, put it into a documentary, make you guys famous.
We did have an encounter last September. We do an event that's called Fall into the Supernatural. And D.A. Roberts came in and spoke for us, and he did the Bigfoot portion. And we had a campfire at night going, and there was how many people, Brandon? Maybe 30 people sitting out there. And I was sitting next to DA's wife, and we did have something thrown between the two of us.
Really?
Not explain.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so, there was 30 people there that witnessed it, so it was kind of a oh crap moment.
Yeah, we also
it came out of nowhere. We were just all sitting there.
Yeah, we also had Jane got carried off by Bigfoot. So never to be seen again.
Yeah. So we're really honestly pretty new to the cryptid scene. We're both very fascinated, very interested in it. So it is on our bucket list. We are going very soon.
Well, that's
we're first and foremost, what we're trying to do is gain some knowledge, from seasoned researchers and things like that. Just because what we've learned first and foremost is don't go out there by yourself. There's some things you need to know. So that's what we're trying to learn right now.
And take someone that runs slower than you, and you're good.
There you go.
Yeah, that's what I figured out. I just got to run faster than somebody else, and I'll be okay.
There's no point in running anyway,
right?
Because if it's a Bigfoot that's in front of you, and if it's going to kill you, well, there's nothing you can do.
Right.
There's really nothing you can do. I'm pretty sure that when it does roar at you, or if it does throw stuff at you, that might be a time to kind of back away.
Yeah.
But I've been with a few camera people that ran away from me. They would just freak out, and we just hear crack in the forest, and we hear howl, and they would want to run. It's really annoying.
Well, and that's a way to get hurt too. And we always tell people when we do, we hold events and the public comes in, and we always tell them, whatever you do, don't run off. find one of us. We'll help you, get out if you're freaked out or whatever. And yeah, people do. They get scared. It's fight or flight. That's their first
Yeah,
reaction for normal people.
yeah,
I love
exactly. I mean, yeah, I don't run.
Yeah,
I just stand there and just go, please do not eat me.
yeah,
Eat this guy that's beside me. He tastes way better than me.
yeah,
Well,
Yeah.
the biggest thing about doing these paranormal documentaries, it's meeting the new friendships,
hmm
the new people. I've
yeah,
met some really nice researchers, people that I'm still friends with, and I still talk to all the time, and
hmm
it's great. I love it.
yeah,
Right? I don't judge anyone.
yeah. You definitely have to keep an open mind, be it, you're researching paranormal, cryptid, UFO. You have to be an open mind person, I think.
Yeah.
You
I was
know,
thinking, I was thinking of doing a UFO documentary, but then I realized 90% of the documentary would be like this. All right. So,
right.
how's my chin?
Yeah,
Hi, my name is Jason Kenzie, and this is looking up my nose for 90
right,
minutes,
right,
looking for UFOs. You know
right.
what? I would like to have a UFO encounter where the
Yeah,
damn thing lands 20 feet in front of me. That's the UFO.
yeah,
So when you hear someone say, I saw a UFO, then, and it's just a dot in the sky, like a dot. Like I've seen a dot. I've seen a UFO in the sky, an unidentified flying object,
hmm
right? But I don't go telling everyone this because it's a dot in the sky. The only
right,
reason why I know it wasn't a satellite is the damn thing moved and it literally turned on a dime. It just turned and went the other direction instantly without even slowing down. It just like whoop, whoop.
yeah,
Like it just, but it's not that exciting.
hmm
Now, if the ship lands 100 feet from you, now that's exciting. So I
right,
have to really think about if I do a UFO, it has it, how can I make it different, or how can it be different than the 200 other UFO, documentaries out there,
right,
right?
right. Yeah, we I'm really interested into the UFO thing too. We have a friend that does the CE5, and I'm hoping to do that with her this spring. So that'd be kind of cool. It's something I've never done before either.
Yeah, I mean, it's so like I don't think I've spent so much time out in the forest at night
Hmm
before Bigfoot, like
Yeah,
searching for cryptids, right? Wandering around in the forest at night. It can be quite beautiful out, right? Even
yeah,
if the creatures don't come around, just take a step back and just take a big, deep breath and look around and say, "Look, I'm hanging out with some good people, and I'm outside. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. The air is fresh. It's warm. It's nice out. You can hear
right,
the bugs, you know."
right,
And then
right.
you see a giant 900 freaking pound creature come walking out of the forest and
Yeah,
changes.
yeah,
Yeah, you're all set, getting comfortable, watch the sky, and then next
Yeah,
thing you know, something else happens.
yeah,
That's just about right.
right.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It's great. I love it. It's a lot of fun. I'll only stop doing it once it's no more. It's not fun anymore.
right, right. Yeah, no, I hear you. We're the same way, and that's why we do this. We like, to educate ourselves as well as others, because like I said, our main field is the paranormal, is ghosts and things like that. And, so we're
Yeah,
we're
I
just
don't I don't think I'll ever stop.
no,
Yeah,
Mm,
yeah. We're just now branching out to, the other things, and I'm excited to do that. We've met some really cool people, and honestly, like they're very credible people that we know and we talk to, and I have no reason not to believe, their stories and stuff. So it's really opened my mind up because, a year ago I was a person who thought they were strictly flesh and blood, and I'm not so sure about that anymore. So
yeah. It's interesting.
my opinion.
They seem to be able to. they seem to know where to stand just outside of the infrared light,
Yeah. So I
right? But
feel
I've
like
been
they're really,
so close to whatever these creatures are.
yeah, they're super, super smart, you know,
I
for
mean,
sure.
I hope I can, at least capture one so he can do my taxes, because they're definitely smarter than I am
Yeah.
when it
Yeah.
comes to numbers.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. We we only got like a minute here to chit chat real quick before we have to do our 5 minute break. Do you want to tell everybody where they can find you? I know on Tubi, but can you
Yeah, so you can find me. So I have a website called searchingforsasquatch.ca.
okay.
So it's a website. You can also find me on TikTok. I think TikTok is Searching for Sasquatch.
Okay.
Instagram, I think it's called Searching Sasquatch.
Okay.
Damn it, someone took the other name.
Okay.
And so if you can, so it could be reversed. Be, because I can't remember if it's Instagram that's searching for Sasquatch,
Right.
or if it's TikTok that's searching Sasquatch. So one of the two, you'll be able to find me on there.
Okay.
I have another website that show my animal adventures,
Mm-hmm.
and that is lifethroughmylens.ca.
Okay.
And that is, you can see all my animal adventures, because I filmed behind the scenes of all the little animal photo shoots that I've done. So you
Right.
get to see me, interact with monkeys and
Okay.
wolves. You'll like the wolves one, that's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I'll
That's
definitely
pretty
check
cool.
them out.
A pet bobcat, like so many. There's so many,
Yeah.
well over 300 animal adventure videos. Because
Wow.
I was doing my animal adventures for a
Mm-hmm.
very long time,
Yeah.
and now I've kind of just turned to the cryptids, because I want to do other cryptids too. I
Cool.
don't know about
Well,
Ogopogo
here we
or
are almost at the
Yeah,
Jason, hold that
let us
thought
take
because
the 5 minute
we're
break,
going
and
to
when
take
we
our
come
5 minute
back,
break and we'll be right back.
and we'll
sure.
talk to you more about the other cryptids and things like that that you're going to investigate. So let's do
Yeah.
5 minutes.
Yeah.
You guys stay tuned. Everybody, we'll be right back.
Okay.
Four minutes to go, folks. 4 minutes. Three minutes. We're almost there. 2-minute warning, guys. 2-minute warning. One minute. 1 minute.
Hey everybody.
Hey, everybody.
So I have about 10 minutes left before I have to go.
Okay.
I don't even know
Okay.
if my battery in my phone's gonna last that long. So if it cuts out,
Okay.
forgive me.
That's okay.
Gotcha. No problem.
We understand. I've had terrible problems. My stuff runs out all the time. If you can hear me now,
What was that?
I said I have terrible problems.
Yeah.
There you go. So what other cryptids are you looking at and like
Well,
research?
so it would be nice to research like Mothman and to, you know, go after, I don't know about Loch Ness Monster, something about just, it's all about water. So unless you're able to go into the water, it's just, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but a lot of the Dog Man would be great to do a documentary on.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Something different than what is already out there.
Yeah. I got to say, like, I've always been a Bigfoot fan, but in the last year, I've really taken an interest into Dogman. So I watch a lot of stuff and I read a lot of stuff on Dogman, a lot of information. Yeah. It's kind of on my bucket list. Not that I want to see one, because I'm not sure how I would feel about that. However,
Well,
so
that's the thing. Everyone asks me that. I'm
yeah,
like, what's going to happen when I come face to face, like daytime sighting, when it steps out
sure,
and looks at me? I'll
sure.
probably just say hi and be scared. I'd be like, hey, please don't eat me.
I've heard of, everybody, I guess maybe with the Gimlin Patterson film, everybody thinks Bigfoot, is just this friendly creature out there. And then I have heard horror stories where they're not,
Mhm.
So what are your feelings on that?
Well, so far I haven't found one that wanted to eat me.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like any animal, right? So I think that these creatures are just, when I say like humans, I'm saying you got good humans, you got bad humans. I do think that the ones that come around you,
Mm-hmm.
either they are younger ones, or they are um, older ones that have been kicked out of the clan.
What
That's
makes you
what I
think
think.
that? What makes you come to that conclusion?
Because it makes me wonder why they come so close. If these creatures don't want to be seen, then why do they toy with us? Why do they come so close? When we were walking back before we saw the eye shines that were looking at us, we had no idea until it broke these two branches that were hanging over the trail, causing us to stop and look at it.
Right.
That's the only thing that we could think of why it had broken it. And it did exactly that. We stopped, and I'm looking at it going, I don't remember filming this. And our backs are to the crack. The crack came from behind us, and we jumped and we turned around.
Yeah.
Expecting to maybe see a cougar or maybe a bear or a wolf or something.
Yeah.
So if these creatures don't want to be seen, then why did it do that? Why did it make a sound? Right. And while we're looking at the eye shine, we could hear the cracking of others around us on either side of the trail.
Yeah.
And obviously they didn't want to kill us because I'm still here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it just makes me
at any
wonder.
time, you know, I think too, you know, like houses and residential and shopping malls are going up, you know, so we are invading their territory.
Exactly.
You know,
I
so
mean, I don't blame them for being angry. I mean, have you ever went shopping during Christmas time?
right.
God, I
Right.
turned to a Sasquatch with all the people around me.
Yeah.
That too.
Right. Exactly. Brandy, I know you had some questions for Jason.
I think he's pretty much answered all the ones that I had. What is your most terrifying experience that you had?
With Bigfoot or just with
Yes.
any creature? Well,
with any creature, really.
With Bigfoot, I mean, with these creatures, I mean, the one that I came walking up on, and it was 20 feet away, and just looking at me in the forest. I mean, that was not knowing exactly what that was. I mean, that was pretty scary.
Yeah.
But I have to say, you know, swimming in Hawaii and grabbing hold of a turtle's back and being pulled through the water and then being pulled out so far and then turning around and seeing all these sharks around me, that was pretty terrifying.
Yeah.
Oh, geez. No sharks for me, thank you. I'll pass.
I mean, they were black-tip reef sharks, but they're huge. They're huge, and they're very curious, and they swim around you, and sometimes the tail slaps you in the face because they get so close.
Right.
Yeah, it's, you know, that was probably a pretty terrifying incident.
Yeah, I could understand that. That's why I don't go in the ocean.
I love the ocean.
Yeah, see, I'm just opposite. Give me the mountains any day over the ocean.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting though. You know, where I live, I think there's only 3 or 4 places on the planet where the mountains come right down and touches the water. And then we have the city of Vancouver.
Oh my goodness,
right there.
Yeah, that would be pretty. That would be really nice. So
now a lot of people, when they're out in the field researching, they have different ways of trying to, you know, get a sighting of Bigfoot. Some do like howls, tree knocks, things like that. Other people just like to sit by a campfire, talk. And what is your preferred way to have an experience or try to have an experience?
So I'll tell you right now, all the experience I've had, all the going out there in the field, I find that the first night that you get there, I usually make a lot of noise. Howling, wood knocks, laughing, joking, just being kind of annoying, really. Because if these creatures are around, I want them to know I'm here. And that way, by the second night, or maybe even later in the evening, the creatures will hear you from miles away and they'll come to you. Very seldom will you walk up on them. They will actually come to you. So that's my technique is that. I make a lot of noise the first night, and by the second night, there's a lot of activity.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I found.
Have you had any daytime sightings at all?
You know what? Not really. I haven't really had. It just seems like it's always nighttime, and that's when they can come closer because of nighttime.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I believe they can
This-
see. They can see in pure darkness.
So you would think that Bigfoot would be nocturnal, correct?
Yeah, more so. I mean, if they're anything like humans, they probably do. Go from one place to the next during the day. Right? Because I've talked to eyewitnesses who've seen families of them walking.
Do you
Right? But
feel
most,
like they utilize our cave systems?
say again,
Do you feel like they utilize our cave systems?
why not? Why wouldn't they? Other animals do it. I
Right.
mean, it makes sense. They can go from one place to the next without being seen.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they probably use the tunnels that go under roads, right? Because they don't have to cross the highway. They just go right through these
Mm.
giant, tunnels that men make for the other animals.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Yeah, like I said, we're new to this, so we're learning and just talking to people about them and about their experiences. So we're all new. Brandy and I are.
Well,
So
Yeah,
good. Well,
exactly.
you're in for a great ride,
yeah,
and I'm hoping that you guys have some really cool experiences. And like I said, I would love to go out with you guys on the first time because you know I always seem to find some activity, or the activity finds me.
gotcha. Yeah, yeah.
And
It's on our bucket list this year, and we've got plans real soon to do that.
as
So
long as you guys don't mind being in a documentary, you
yeah,
know.
not at all. We were actually offered a TV show here a month or so ago, and we
Oh
turned it
yeah,
down. We turned it down. Sure did.
did you?
We did.
How come you turned it down?
Well, we know a lot of people in the paranormal world on TV shows, and
Yeah,
it doesn't pay worth a diddly for
I know
one
it
thing.
doesn't.
Not at
Well,
all.
and then we figured that right now we're still learning, we're still getting our feet wet here, and
Yeah,
we really want to get more experience, and it just didn't seem like the right time right now.
Yeah.
yeah, which
And
is great.
when we talked about it, the three of us, we're missing our partner Aaron tonight, but we talked about it. It was a 2 hour conversation, the pros and the cons with it, and
Yeah,
and we all three in the end, agreed to pass
yeah,
this one up. So
yeah. You don't.
Yeah, and it wouldn't allow us to travel as much. It would
Yeah,
just keep us grounded, in
yeah,
I guess in that lane.
yeah,
For
yeah,
me, I like to travel around, do things for fun, go out on my own, this, that, and the other. And that wouldn't allow us to do anything.
right, right. So
yeah.
yeah,
So they don't pay you very well,
not
but
at
the
all.
millions of dollars that you make will be off the merchandising.
Right.
That's where you make the big money.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
usually you go in knowing that you're not going to be making a big chunk of money from them, a paycheck,
Right.
but the merchandising and people being able to see you,
Yeah.
that's where you make the millions.
Right. Right. Yeah. And we just, we do a lot of ghosting, and more on the ghosting side of it. And like I said, we just want to, we're not in this to get rich or get famous or anything like that. We just, want to be educated, and we want to help to educate others out there too. That's why we do this.
That's great. Yeah, that's what I like doing. I do it because I love making the new friendships, and I like the adventure and the mystery
Yeah.
of
Yeah. And
wanting
that's
to
us too,
solve this mystery.
Yep, that's us too. We're just three girls that like to do this weird shit, as I call it.
Because honestly, if I was doing this for the money, I wouldn't be doing it
Yeah,
because I don't make anything really,
yeah,
But what I do make is new friends like you,
yep, exactly.
right? And that's what
There
makes it
you
worth it.
go.
Yeah, Yep, I figure, you can never have too much knowledge, and I agree there is
Exactly.
no experts in any field, be it paranormal, Bigfoot, UFOs, we're all still learning. And I learn something every day from talking to different people, and I value all the friendships I have made, since we've been doing these shows. And I've been doing paranormal for 15 something years now, and just met a lot of great people in the field.
Yeah, and it's as long as you can still have fun doing it, and
Hmm.
it's respectful, and
Yep. That's how we do it. When we go to haunted locations, we don't taunt, we don't do anything like that. We treat a spirit that's, there, that with respect, as if they were a living person standing in
yeah.
front of us. We don't disrespect anything, because when we do private cases, we get to go home and these people are stuck there still. You
Hmm.
so we don't want to leave them, with anything bad because we caused it.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
Exactly.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
it looks like my time is up here.
Okay, well, we will let you go, and we appreciate you coming on and doing this. And if
Thank
everybody
you so
just
much.
hold on, you guys will have Brandy and I for
Thank
a few
you.
minutes.
Yeah, this is great. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, we appreciate
I
you.
had so much fun, and I'll talk to you online.
Yeah, for sure. Sounds
And
great.
yeah, go and have a look at the documentaries, and
Yeah,
I can't
absolutely.
wait to see what your input is when I do the
Well, we're waiting for
paranormal.
number 7.
Number 7,
Yeah,
yes, number
Number
7,
7.
and then number 8 too. You'll like number 8 also.
yeah. We,
Oh,
we will
okay.
check them out for sure. We appreciate you, Jason.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'll see you guys
Thank
later.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye. Brandy,
Okay,
it's
I'm
you
still
and
here.
I. Okay, you
I'm
guys
trying.
have Brandy and
I'm
I
trying
right
to live. Hold on.
now. Can you come back
I'm
on?
trying to
Show me your picture.
live. I'm trying. It's like every time I turn on the camera, then everything starts messing up, so I have to turn it back off.
Yeah, I
I'm
hear
like,
you.
I don't know. There's just so many different theories. I'm gonna call them theories out there about Bigfoot, Dogman. You know, it's really hard for me to, I guess, say yes or no that this could happen or this couldn't happen because I haven't had an experience. I
Mhm.
don't, there's so many things that I just wish that would happen so I know.
Yeah,
Like, I'm like,
yeah. No,
but
I agree.
I'm really
I definitely agree with, like I said, though, we both have talked to so many credible people, and, I believe their stories. So, a year ago, I was 100%, flesh and blood. Now, I'm kind of leaning that maybe they are a little bit more interdimensional, and not, what I had thought, but I don't know. I've
I,
never seen one with my eyes, so I don't know.
well, I think they're a little bit more woo than what people are thinking. I mean, they have to. They
Yeah.
have to be.
Yep. I would agree. I just, you know, I don't know. Everybody has their different thoughts on it. And
Anybody else got any ideas?
yeah, and my thought is, really, honestly, nobody's wrong, because that's what they have experienced. And who am I to say that didn't happen to you, or you don't do that? So
Right, right.
I'm, it just hasn't happened to me. So that's why I said
Yeah.
I'm open to it. And I'll never call anybody a liar, because I
Well,
wasn't
yeah,
there. I didn't
and we
experience
got we got to think about it.
it.
We got to think about it this way too. As open as we are to having an
Mhm.
experience, we may never have one.
Right. Exactly.
That's just ah.
Well, maybe when we
That's why
go
I
on.
think ghosts are easier. Ghosts
Yeah,
are
I know, right?
easier.
Yeah. Ghosts never let us down. Very rarely do they let us
I
down.
know where to find them.
We know the right locations, and yeah, most definitely.
Right. So, um, we're still working on things for July 8th.
Yes.
That is our Malvern Manor ghost hunt
Yep.
in Malvern, Iowa.
Yep.
We should be getting our site up soon to start selling tickets. This is
Yep.
going to be a fantastic thing. We have Mr. Tex himself. He's going to come out and hunt with us.
Yep. And so is Josh Hurd, who owns the building. He's going to stay and hunt with us. And then our friend Terry Mosby, she is going to hunt with us for that night too. So that's going to be fun.
Yeah, she is our CE5 UFO lady. She is very knowledgeable. So
Yep.
if you have any questions, you know, she probably could answer or point you in that right direction, because every time I have a question about it, she knows it.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So that will be, when is that? It's July something. I just don't remember the date.
July 8th.
July 8th. And we'll have tickets on sale here soon, probably within, when you say, Brandy, the next month or so.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say
Yeah.
that long. I'm hoping within the next couple weeks.
Yeah.
And then we have one in the works for Ray County Museum in Richmond,
That is
Missouri,
in August.
August 10th, I believe. That's in the works. We're getting that one put together too. So if anybody wants to come to that one,
let me pull up my calendar. It'll be August 12th for the Ray County Museum in Richmond, Missouri. So, and
yeah, I've
that's
got somebody.
it's a pretty awesome haunted location, as is Malvern. So we'll have tickets up for both of those. The August 12th one we're doing with some friends of ours that we actually met at a paranormal conference. They're called Haunted Souls Paranormal, and we actually had the guys on the show about a month or so ago, and we're going to do this tag team with them for the Ray County Museum. So that'll be fun. That'll be a fun night. And then we're like I said, the Malvern Manor, that's going to be fun. And you guys out there can come up, and if you want to come to this, you get to meet not only us, but Tex too. So
one other thing that I want to talk about too is our Parafest coming up in March. We're going to be in Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Yep.
It's for you got that on there? This is going to be great for all the paranormal fans, even if you're not. This is for Pottergrass for Pooches. What Tim Miley does is raise money for shelters and things like that to take care of the animals that they have in there. And he holds these big Parafests, and I'm talking about big names come. And we're going to be at this one on March 4th. There it is, March 4th. And we're going to actually have Bigfoot Michigan Rob with us that day. Yeah, because we told him we would hurt him if he doesn't show up.
Right. And I do believe Letitia Nunnally is going to tag along with us too. So
yeah, then
Ray can come up and meet her as well. So and then
we're bringing our own people.
Yep, we are. We are. And Erin will be at that one. I talked to her actually last night about it, and she's going to fly in. She's not going to drive. So it'll be fun. And the godfather of the paranormal will be there, Mr. John Zaffis. How can you go wrong with that?
Exactly.
You know, there's a lot of good people. I mean, if you look at this flyer here, and anybody that's into the paranormal, I'm sure you will see some familiar faces on that flyer. So we're really looking forward to that. That'll be good. And then honestly, Tuesday night show with Beyond BMR is going to have Tim Miley, who does the potographs. And I highly suggest everybody going in and watching that show, and have your Kleenex ready, because he's got quite a story, and it is paranormal related. But I'll tell you what, there won't be a dry eye out there. And I witnessed this. I've watched him tell his story 2 different times, and both times there was not a dry eye in the house. So Tuesday night, that'll be Beyond BMR at 8 p.m. with Tim Miley.
Central, 8 p.m. Central.
8 p.m. Central. Yes. Yes. So that'll be fun. And then tomorrow evening, we are, we're hanging out this weekend with Barton and Letitia Nunnally and Daryl Denton and a few other people. So we're looking forward to that. And Brandy and I are headed to Kentucky to their house. And so tomorrow night's show will be Brandy and I will be at their house, and we're going to
We'll be
have
in Kentucky.
we will we'll be in Kentucky. So we will have tomorrow night. We have Jason Haxton, who used to own the Dybbuk box. So for those of you that don't know what the Dybbuk box is, tune in. It's got a demonic entity attached to it, so that'll be a really cool show. I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah. I mean, I've been waiting to talk to him, and I'm like,
Super
you
nice
know,
guy. Super
yeah,
nice guy. He came to an event that we had, and just such a knowledgeable man. And when he bought it, I mean, I'm not even going to tell you guys because I'll let him tell the whole story, but it's pretty interesting. And
exactly.
the only thing I will tell you that is he did sell it to Zach Bagans, and it is at his haunted museum.
Yeah, it's in Las Vegas now.
Yep.
I don't even think he has that thing encased. I think it's just out in the open where you
I
can't
have no
touch
idea.
it, but I think it's
I seen one of their episodes where they opened it or something. I don't know.
yeah, I don't know. If I'd have paid that much money for it, I don't know if I'd have opened it or not. I think I'd have been a little scared to open it
Right?
because it created so much havoc with it just being closed
Mhm.
that can you imagine just opening it, letting it all out? I don't know about
Yeah,
that.
no. So I'm pretty excited about tomorrow night's show. It's going to be a good one. So anyway, we appreciate
Yeah, so
everybody
everybody
tuning
come on
in.
in and
Yeah, and appreciate you guys tuning in tonight. And then, like I said, come back here tomorrow night, and we're gonna talk about the Dybbuk box. And I'm pretty excited about that. That's going to be a fun one.
yes.
Yeah. So you all have a wonderful evening, and we will see you back here tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Central. Good night.
Night.